Hello and welcome to Numbers Don't Lie. I'm your host, Nasty Noop. Today I have two special co-hosts with me. First up, we have Keith Stone. What's going on?
Hey, what's good? Glad to finally get on a show.
Yeah, we're happy to have you. Next up, his second time on Numbers Don't Lie, we have Houdini returning. What's going on, man?
What's good, my boy?
All right. So at this point, man, we're going to be looking at the numbers compiled for the top offense and defense, along with the 32nd and 32nd ranked offense and defense. The numbers were totaled through the first 9 weeks of the season. So what are you guys' thoughts so far over the 2023 season so far?
I feel like I'm not where I want to be. I'm 4-4. I took a bad loss last week to the Texans, and there was just too much things going on with me not even being on my PS4. And I barely lost that game, and I'm fighting for the playoffs right now. But my offense looking nice. I'm gonna just say it early that I think Frank gonna win MVP.
You throw the ball enough, man. You should get the numbers.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting at like 7. Yeah.
So how about you, Keith?
Yeah. So I'm sitting at like 7-1 right now, I think, and somehow every season the Jets somehow beats me. I don't understand why. He either catches me in the morning or after I had a couple beers. He always ends up doing that somehow. But we're doing all right. Lost the quarterback. He was having like his best year ever, but he's out for like 8 weeks now. So we're rolling with the backup, and the backup got it done last week against the Titans. So looking good so far. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah, so that's a good segue, man, into our number one offensive team through the first 9 weeks of the Dynasty season, man. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in at number one. You seem to be putting up a lot of points, man. 35.6 points per game over the season, so you're pretty much holding it down. So give us a little feedback on your team right now, man.
Yeah, we just try and stay balanced. I think I throw the ball a little bit more than I should, but it ends up working out pretty well. I got some good wide receivers. Yeah. So I got my QB's been around forever, and then got a good core receivers that I traded for. Got Matthews I got from the Jets last year. I got Foley from the Giants, and then I picked up Hawk in free agency, and they've been balling. The tight end's pretty good, but Furio at running back has been solid. He's got some good speed and breaks off a long run. You can't really catch him. So it's been good. Just trying to stay balanced as best we can.
True. So what are your thoughts here?
Looking at his offense, they top tier, like they up there with me, and I'm sounding cocky, but I've been putting up the numbers this year. But yeah, I give him a slight edge over my offense because he got a nice running game going on with Gilbert back there, and damn, he gonna be a tough team coming around playoffs. It look like.
Yeah, I know I faced Keith Stone this season, man, and he was just slinging that ball around the field on me. I couldn't do anything on defense to stop him. I think he put up like 35, 36 points on me, and then my offense wasn't clicking at the time, so it was like 35-3. I was hurt. I was mad, but it gave me motivation to get back in the lab and to try to turn things around, which is, I think things are finally starting to click on my offense. But my defense is falling apart, so that's never good. But speaking of a lackluster offense, we'll go ahead and move on to the 32nd ranked offense in the league, and we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings saved me this season because if he would have had a better game, I would have been looking at the Falcons right now. But just looking at his total points per game, 12.5 points per game, yeah, he's not going to be able to win too many games with that. So, Houdini, what are your thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, I always thought he was like a sleeper team that was going to come back one of these seasons and have a bounce back year, but I don't know what he's doing. He was able to get Carson Wentz from HBO in the offseason, and I thank him for that. But he only threw 2 touchdowns and 10 interceptions with him. And then he had a backup come in, and he ain't do no better. It's just, I feel like he got a nice defense. If he could just get some pieces on offense to work with Carson Wentz, he's going to be a good year. He's gonna be a good player come the high stakes season.
Yeah. Hey, so Keith, as having the #1 offense in the league, what type of advice would you give old Hamilton?
Damn, I don't know. I'm looking at his team right now, and I'm looking at his O-line. His O-line's solid. It's like 80 overalls all around, and he's got Carson Wentz, and then that young QB Shirley. I mean, looking at their overalls and stuff, you think they'd be pretty good, but it's just about staying balanced, and honestly, it's just turnovers. Whoever wins the turnover battles, I bet you, if there was a stat, it'd be like 75% of the time wins the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a little leeway because he had a baby, so maybe he hasn't been able to be in the lab that much working with Wentz. So he get a little pass because he ain't had that much time to work out with Wentz. It looked like, but yeah, he gonna have to turn it around this next season.
Yeah.
And if he ever wants to trade Tostin, he can send him my way.
Hey man, that's another good segue, man, as we finish up the 23 season and start to turn our focus to the high stakes season, man. Keith, since you're a vet in the league, what was your experience during Madden 16 going into the high stakes season?
Man, it was a good time. I mean, I got to the damn Super Bowl. I ended up losing to the Raiders. I can't remember his damn name.
Pterodome.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, the autos killed me though, because I think I ended up picking like 4th or 5th because I missed a couple games. But it's a good time. You don't have no friends. You don't make no friends. You're just trying to win some games.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So Houdini, this will be your first high stakes. You haven't been through it. What are you looking forward to, and what do you think it'll be all about?
I feel like it's gonna be cutthroat. It ain't gonna be nobody helping out nobody with nothing. Like everybody gonna be gunning for the top pick in the draft, and I'm gonna just mind my business and not talk to nobody. I'm gonna play my ass off and try to get every win, and not cost myself the game by throwing stupid interceptions.
Very true, very true. So I guess we'll go ahead and input the high stakes 2024 hype video right here. All right, welcome back. So I guess at this point we're going to go ahead and move on to the top-ranked defense in the Dynasty, and this might be a surprise to a lot of people, but coming in at the Miami Dolphins, he started the season 6-0, and his defense is still balling, man. So I guess Keystone, what's your thoughts on the Miami Dolphins defense at this point?
Man, he's kind of a sleeper, but I know back in Madden 16 when I was the Jets and he was still the Dolphins, that was always a tough game. He always played tough. But it's good to finally see him on the winning side of stuff because he's always right there, but he seems to be falling short. But this season he's finally turning it around. I know he's got some young, good players like that linebacker, Stubblefield. He was a good pickup. And, he's got that Xavier Howard. For some reason, he's old as hell, but he's still making plays. But we'll see if he can keep it going for the high stakes season.
Yeah, played him 2 seasons ago, and it was 9-3. So I was like, I got a feel for that. He had a scary defense, and this year he was able to get an offense going to balance out that defense. But he got a fast linebacking core from what I'm looking at, and they always get into the ball either forcing a turnover or incompletion. And they looking real nice. Hopefully he can lose a couple more games to help my playoff seeding. So an injury here or there to Stubblefield or somebody or Xavier, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm happy for Mo Booker, man. He's been here in the Dynasty. This is since Madden 16, so this is probably his best season so far that I can remember. So I'm happy for him. His defense is playing lights out. I wish I had that defense at this point to help out because today I faced the Titans. And Big Buck got loose on me. I couldn't stop him to save my life, man. I could have used some of those linebackers. But
it happens.
yeah. So I guess we'll go ahead and move on, man, to the 32nd ranked defense in the Dynasty, and this probably won't come to a surprise to too many people. It's the Houston Texans. This is a guy in your division, Keith, so I'll let you speak on him first.
Yeah, his biggest problem is that he has to face me and the Titans 2 times every season. So that's a problem. But, man, honestly, I don't know. He's got to work on his GM skills a little bit, I think. His team's looking a little weak, getting a little old. I see you got old Carl Joseph on there. It's good to see he's still on the team. But, yeah. It's, I mean, we're in a pretty tough division. And that new Colts user's, I mean, not bad. I played him a couple times. But, yeah, it's just tough with Titans and me. Get a little run game with Buckner and then pass game from me. It's hard to stop it all.
Yeah. Just looking at his numbers, man, he's given up 2,193 yards in the first 9 games. Rushing is 875 yards, which puts him 31 and 30th in the league. Yeah, you're not going to win too many games here not being able to stop the run or the pass. If I had a choice, I would rather stop the run first, because I figure if I stop your run and I make you one-dimensional, at some point you're going to throw me an interception, which seems to kind of be his problem, not being able to get turnovers. He only has 8 interceptions at this point, but what are your thoughts, Houdini?
I'm going to be speaking from a little saltiness because he beat me last week. But I feel like when he played, his using skills is just not that good, because it was 2 plays I made where he was right there, or he was near it, and if he would have just moved over, he would have got a pick, and I was able to still score 26 without even running my offense against him. So it's like, I don't know, maybe he needs to get back in the lab and work on his defense user and skills, because he's almost there, but he got a lot of work to go with some more pieces.
Yeah, I think he's missed a lot of drafts, so that might be his problem. And it really didn't help that he gave away his first and second for 2 old offensive linemen to only allow them to walk away that same season.
Yeah, bad trade.
Yeah, it's hard to build a team that way, man, and be successful here. So, hopefully he'll be able to pull something out of this last draft, which he's not going to be able to do because he sent his first round pick to the Packers. So, and speaking about him, we might be speaking to the new Browns user, man, coming in the Madden 18, man, or one of these other bad teams, because I think the Browns might actually be good this year.
Yeah, maybe the new Niners.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a tough Madden 17 for him and myself and a couple other people. So hopefully we can get some luck going into this high stakes season. So in closing, this was Numbers Don't Lie. We don't care who the user is. We don't care about your GM skills. We dig into the numbers, and the numbers don't lie. We're out. Peace.
Peace.
The Dynasty Madden League Network, the worldwide leader in CFM.